Alright, kind of disorganized this week, so I'm uploading this video on a Sunday, even though this is the current weekly. So if you want to try this, you've only got a couple of hours left, I think. And I tend not to play the weekly that much. It really just depends what it's like, if I'm willing to invest time into it. And this one was quite interesting because someone posted in the Discord mentioning that it was set up really well for 5 foxes. And 5 foxes is one of those really awkward fives to go for. I mean, obviously, if you're playing custom packs, you can just go 50-50 shop and get any 5 you want. But it's super awkward trying to do it in other weeklies, but also in Star Pack itself. You know, it's one of those pets where stacking multiples really just doesn't benefit you. You know, if you think about some of the other food pets, having multiple rabbits is great, multiple cats. But I guess even, you know, something like multiple seals could be good. But multiple foxes just doesn't really make a lot of sense because it means you've got to spend a lot of time managing the food shop. You've got to make sure that you have something stealable for both foxes. I mean, technically you can have 3 foods and have 3 foxes steal something, but it's not really going to happen that often. It's not going to be very practical. And this pack also has pill in it, so you've got to worry about if you have multiple. If you have 1 fox with the fox change, it's much easier to avoid pill now because it will only steal what's in the rightmost slot. It's not random. But if you have more than 1 fox, you can still end up in a situation where you only have pill in the leftmost slot. And I didn't actually end up with any fox pilling itself clips while doing this. That's mainly because if I got into that situation, I would just sell a unit on the team to re-roll and avoid the pill. So it's definitely easier to play around, but it still has pretty big limitations. So here on turn 7, I level up, I don't get the fox, I get blue ringed octopus instead. And this is a funny team where they've got the quad lobster. And the eel as well. There's a lot of people playing eel in this weekly because it's an easy way to get a big carry unit. So I'm going to use the chocolate on the octopus to get it to level 2 straight away. We find the fox. And I think I decided, after a lot of attempts at this, I was trying to hit multiple foxes turn 7 and then immediately start working on scaling with the fox ability. But because it's so awkward, it makes a lot more sense to just try and focus on scaling them up other ways to begin with, and then look for cat later on, and then accelerate the food scaling that way. So here we do actually get the cat, but I'm going to keep, and then we roll double fox, but I think I'm just going to keep them frozen for just now. And we're going to look to try and, yeah, I think I'm going to buy turtle here. Probably buy one of the foods first to get the cat benefit. Okay, I'm actually going to sell bat as well. I don't remember this run all that clearly. But we're going to freeze the usable food, and now the cat is going to double it. But the fox will also contribute because it's level 2 already. So we got 3x on one of those food items because the fox being level 2 already. And it just makes such a difference at level 2 compared to level 1. However, there is another slight limitation with the fact that the fox, if the fox steals a single target food item like pear, like chicken leg, it's always going to hit itself. So your main fox, especially if it's level 2, is going to max out super quickly, and then really you're trying to find splash foods to hit the other foxes on the team. So most of the time I was ending up with multiple large, like 2 large foxes and then 3 that are much weaker in comparison. So very typical team here. Jerboa was one of the Jerboa plus owl plus worm, 2 of the very common builds that you were seeing, and those can provide really strong scaling for long periods, given how early you can get Jerboa, and you can also have worm and owl set up ready for it. So here I decided to abandon the cat. The cat was just level 1, so once I'm finished with the octopus, and I don't think there was waffle in the pack, so once it hits level 3 it becomes useless. Once I'm finished with the octopus, I can just look for another level 1 cat and bring it in again. So another issue with this weekly for trying to do the 5 foxes run was the fact that there were some very powerful tier 6 units. I mean, I guess in most weeklies that's going to be the case, but we had cobra, leopard, reindeer. All of those are super strong when you have access to cat scaling. And here we actually angle a cat from the other team. Of course, a lot of teams are going to have it. And there we go, freeze a chicken leg. There's the final blue ringed and another chicken leg. So those 2 foxes are guaranteed to buff themselves with the single target food. And the third fox goes hungry. It's still only an 11-9. But that's where the octopus kind of helps a lot. You know, even though we only, I think, got 2 buys out of it, well, we had the 3 foxes, it still makes a big difference because you're getting that wide scaling instead of targeting everything onto the 2 big foxes at the front. So here I should just sell the octopus, bring in the other cat. The octopus is done. Like, I think maybe I was just wondering about whether or not if Waffle was in the pack. I could have just checked the pack contents. But we're also closing in on the 10 wins, so we need to find another fox quite quickly. And we get some decent hits there with the sushi, although the weakest fox missed out again. But Squirrel's also in this pack, and also Caterpillar is really frustrating. Luckily this team, actually it's something that I see a lot of people do, is that they play Caterpillar far to the back. I'm not sure why. I think you're much better, you know, usually you're better having big units up at the front where they can do damage. Whereas there were multiple games where I would face the caterpillars at the back. They would copy my biggest unit, but the big unit would end up trading 3 or 4 for 1 because the big caterpillar wasn't close to the front. Turtle's also in this pack, so you know there's no excuse on that front. You can just have Turtle in front of the caterpillar. So I take the goldfish here. Unfortunately, the random hits from the pizza end up hitting the goldfish. Maybe I should have just run a 4 squad there, but I wanted extra gold next turn to give me a higher chance of finding the fox. However, we're actually going to lose here, even though that team had no melon, I don't think. Just the strength of the apple build. So we do find a fox. Can bring that in. There was cow in this pack as well. Although having the fox steal the free milk doesn't feel particularly good, especially if the fox is only level 1. So here I actually buy the chicken leg to make sure that the level 2 fox, which is already maxed out pretty much, buys the sushi instead of wasting the chicken leg. And here the single leopard hits the only melon, but we're strong enough anyway. And so now 9 wins, we need to find another fox, and I get it on the first roll. And I think here I can buy something to use up one of the cat triggers. Maybe I could have used both cat triggers here, but I think with pizza, I'd rather not do it when the cat is on the board, because we could hit the 50-50 fox and the cat, and then it would be a complete waste. So I think I just sell the cat, buy, sell oyster, and then we can bring in the last fox. This team is significantly better than most of the teams that I was building at this stage. Usually I would have the 2 huge foxes at the front and then 3 much weaker ones behind. But here you can see we've got 3 very large foxes plus the melon. And melon didn't exist, you had to pill turtle to get it. So some teams just won't have done that, and you're more likely to favorably trade against them. Of course, if a unit has 50-50 stats plus garlic, it will also trade with 50-50 melon. And we actually face raccoon, which immediately steals the melon, but thankfully they don't have any 50 attack units at all. And even though we were on 1 heart, we managed to get the 5 foxes win over the line. So I've got some bonus clips here. This is one of the fails, so you can see what I mean. I've got the third fox is a little bit weaker than in the previous run, and then we're just buying that last 2 at the very last minute. I think I'd stolen some cans, so their stats are a bit better. And then I just get destroyed here by a team that's just playing sensibly, take the best unit, scale them with cat, and you're going to win every time. Leopard, reindeer, turtle there. And then this one is kind of funny. This is a very rare situation here where I freeze the entire shop. I've got double caterpillar on board, and I'm just trying to use it to fish for cat on tier 6. So we're basically guaranteed to lose. Now we get the double level up, but because I've frozen everything, we actually only get one linked level up, and the 4th pet disappears underneath the turkey, and so the little link icon is gone. So I'd never seen that before. That was a bit strange. And then later in the same game, we've combined the 2 caterpillars together. Caterpillar is just a unit that I almost never use, so this situation may be common for other people, but I've never seen it. My caterpillar transforms first, I copy their octopus, and then they have 2 caterpillars who then copy the butterfly. So kind of a backfire there, actually having the caterpillar at all on my team, because it gave 2 copies to the opposing team. And then lastly, this clip, I finally got matched with NL again after well over a year. I have no idea why that happens. I know he mostly plays the weekly, but I've played plenty of weekly, just on and off. And I finally got matched with him after over a year. And then here are some clips from the Discord. This is 5 seagulls in custom packs there from Wombat. And then we've got 5 wombats. This one, though, I think was recorded when the server had been reset, so the opposing teams were very poor. You can see that one had, I think it was it spider and sheep or something? But it's still nice to see them anyway. And then this one is the 6 of a kind with 5 raccoons plus the raccoon mascot. So I've started recording them on the website as well. And then here, abusing the new Pteranodon, we've got the 511 links. I think that's absolutely hilarious. And then this one is Seabar Music with 5 beavers. I think this was a weekly. I don't know if, I think it's maybe the week before or 2 weeks ago. I'll look up this stuff and make sure it's correct when I add it to the website. And then 5 crows in customs. Crow is just one of those units where, realistically you're going to have to do 50-50 shop to get it. And that, in fact, that was the 6 of a kind as well because of the mascot. And then here is 5 hoopoe birds in pack 2. This one and the next one are still pretty sensible. But then after that, we're going to have some bonus footage. There have been a lot of 5s achieved in custom packs. I don't really know how to categorize them yet, but essentially they use a method that was developed by Hawkerp. I'll link to his video in the description, where he got 5 whales. And the method is to draw for a very long time and then face off against ghost teams, at which point the opponents are so weak that you can kind of do whatever you want. So here's 5 zombie flies and 5 smaller slugs from Wombat using that method. Then we've got 5 pandas versus 5 whales between Wombat and Flame, which is so funny to see. And I'll link to Flame's 5 whales video in the description as well, if you want to see the method that the guys are using for this in more detail. And then here's Wombat actually getting the 5 pandas. And bizarrely, it's against a real opponent instead of a ghost, because they're playing a team that deliberately draws every time. Turn 36, and you think that's late. Well, look at this one. We've got 5 maxed out goldfish that all have full 30 gold value. Turn 905. Yeah, all a little bit dubious, but definitely very fun to see anyway.